Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 mistakes I see first home buyers make over and over and over again, and exactly how you can avoid them. You're going to want to stick around for number 5 because that is definitely the most common. Mistake number 1, it's going straight to your bank. Yes, I understand we all opened up a Dolomites account when we were kids, but I'm telling you, the bank you have been with your entire life is rarely the right bank that is for you for your home loan. I had a scenario where a client of mine was actually eligible for the first home guarantee without paying lender's mortgage insurance and getting in with just a 5% deposit. The problem was they went direct to their bank they've been with their entire life, and their bank is not listed on the acceptable banks for the first home guarantee, and if they didn't have a chat to me first, they were about to pay around $20,000 in lender's mortgage insurance when they didn't need to. Now, a broker is always going to say we have access to 30 different lenders, but the reality is we use about 6 to 8 different lenders that we are super familiar with to make sure we get the best client outcome for you. We just have access to 30 different lenders, so then when the situation arises, we can use whichever lender we need. Mistake number 2 I see all too often, it is failing to engage the right professionals and failing to do it early. Buying a home without getting a building and pest inspection done is like walking into a dark room with all nails sticking up on the floor. You might be okay, there might not actually be any nails sticking up, or you might have one go straight through your foot. You just never know unless you get someone to check it out for you. You cannot get a building and pest inspection within 2 days. You need to be doing this either with a building and pest inspection clause in your contract or getting it done before you make an offer on a property, because sometimes you cannot get that report done in the cooling off period. Now, a conveyancer is someone you always need to use when going through a property settlement. However, what a lot of people don't do is actually get their contracts read by their conveyancer before they make an offer. This is something you have to do because they're going to pick up things that you might not notice because it's their job and their profession to read property contracts. Building the right team around you before you go and purchase a property is just going to protect you legally and financially when the big moment comes. Mistake number 3 is listening to family. Now, we are here to respect our families, but I'm sorry, our uncles, aunties, parents, they all bought property in a very different era to what we are purchasing property now. The game is so different, getting a loan is so different, and actually just finding a good quality property is so different. You need to trust the experts around you and you need to trust your own research. At the end of the day, you're going to be the one that's going to be paying the mortgage repayments and living in that house. You can listen to family all you want, but just make sure at the end of the day, you are the one making the informed decision and not them. Mistake number 4 is ignoring any long-term considerations. Life changes, and that is just a part of it. If you buy with a short-term mindset, you are going to get a poor result. If you go ahead and buy purely at your maximum without any consideration for your financial stability, family stability, and even things that might pop up into the future, like actually expanding your family, you might be doing yourself a disservice. When considering your loan options, one common but very expensive mistake that a lot of people make is actually just choosing a basic home loan product that doesn't have an offset facility attached to it. When you use your redraw facility to save yourself interest, if the purpose of your property changes down the track, you may cause yourself some tax deductibility issues when it comes to the debt you have. You need to choose flexible loan products that are going to work for you both now and in 5 years' time when things may change for you. And if you're considering getting a fixed rate, you need to really think, do you want to be locked into this particular rate and property for the next 2, 3, 4, or 5 years? You also need to think about the resale appeal of the property that you're purchasing. Now, contrary to our parents' opinion, we may not be able to hold on to every single property we purchase in our lifetime because prices are in fact so high. Chances are you may need to move that property on to upsize, and if you get yourself a property that won't resell well or could potentially go down in value, you are setting yourself up for a very bad start. Number 5, this one is my favorite, and this one here gets ignored so often. It's getting emotional when you purchase property. This is by far the most common and the most expensive mistake that I see so many first home buyers make. Let's set the scene. You walk into this beautiful house, there's a lovely kitchen with all this natural light pouring in, and all of a sudden, you've forgotten your budget. You have no idea what you're supposed to be spending. You're calling up mum and dad asking for an extra $5,000 to $10,000 because this house is perfect. I've heard it over and over and over again, and all this does is stretch your budget to the absolute maximum because guess what? The excitement of living in that house is going to fade, but those mortgage repayments and that financial stress, that is not going to fade. You need to lead with logic, not with emotion. Set yourself a maximum budget and do not go over it. Now, if you can successfully avoid all 5 of these mistakes, you're ahead of 99% of first home buyers. And if you can avoid 2 or 3 of these mistakes when purchasing your first home, I'd consider it a success.